rental car should have cost a couple $100s. Instead, a Spring Hill man claims Hertz hit his debit card for 10 times that amount.
Paul Costanza says he fought for weeks to get his money back. Then he called our Taking Action reporter Jackie Calloway for help. Jackie?
Exactly. Talk about a David versus Goliath story. According to this Hertz customer, the rental car giant put him off for weeks after he went after money he says they had no right to take from his bank account. In early December, Paul Costanzo picked out a Hertz rental car in Spring Hill. He used it for a one-way, two-day trip to Pennsylvania, where his sister lives.
Returned the car on the before the end of the second 24 hours, and I got my receipt. I left, and I was done.
Paul said he had no idea Hertz had charged his debit card more than the $281 rate until that card was declined at a restaurant.
I got online, and I found this charge for $2,247 instead of the $281 I had expected.
Paul says Hertz insisted he'd kept the car for 18 days, but that's not what his receipt shows.
They were very dismissive. It was like, oh, we're very sorry for your, for the inconvenience, and we'll investigate and get back to you. Meanwhile, I have no money.
By early February, Paul gave up on Hertz customer service and made a call for action. That's when I contacted their corporate offices and asked about that $2,000 overcharge. It took more than a week, but the rental car giant responded via email. Hertz does apologize for the experience and the confusion he's encountered. We take these complaints seriously and continue to investigate so that the appropriate actions can be taken.
Apparently now I get a refund of almost all I'm owed.
And just yesterday, Hertz credited Paul's checking account a little more than $2 grand. The company, meanwhile, says they are continuing to research what transpired with this particular rental reservation. Now, Paul certainly would have had more protection had he used a credit card rather than a debit card. Hertz would not have had access to his bank account, and the credit card issuer would have likely put the money back on his card while they investigated the issue. Jameson?